All right, thank you, Divya and Ishan, for taking the time. Really excited to have you here. The first question is, can you both share a little bit about yourselves?
Emily, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. A little bit about me. I'm a marketeer by profession. I've been in the function for about 14 plus years now, working in the edtech space. And wife and mom, wife of 12 years and mom of 4.
I'm Ishan. My claim to fame is I married Divya 12 years back after we dated for almost 10 years. So that's my claim to fame. Other than that, I've been an education entrepreneur, started 2 companies. One of them got sold. I was at also Udacity, which is a edtech company managing their India business and global ops. And I'm now SVP operations at Tala.
The second question is growing up, did you have a particular framework in mind for how you would approach having a family and a successful career?
It was around one of the most important decisions you make in your life is finding the right life partner. And I think that was the only framework I had, to be honest, that I think if you can find the right life partner, everything else is exponentially easier after that. So yeah, that's my framework.
Oh, I agree to the finding the right companion. I think everything possibly falls into place a little bit easier once you have a good life partner and somebody who you're comfortable being yourself with around.
And then how do you think things played out relative to expectations once you had children?
So the thing about expectations and children is that nobody ever tells you what happens. You read your books, you go to your blogs, you download the apps, you talk to moms, would-be moms. Nothing ever prepares you for parenthood. It is a switch off one moment and on another. And it's a switch on. So I think it lightens up your life. It brightens up who you are as a person and your family. And, it completes you.
At the same time, I think days can be hard as parents. There's a famous quote, right? Days are long, but years are short. As being parents of 4 years old, you're always looking at him and saying, "Had 4 years to just pass. Like, he's never going to be that small, right? I could carry him in one hand, and now I can't." But yeah, there are tough days as parents when we're juggling work and his schedule and our stuff and everything. So, like the way I said, nobody prepares you, but days can be quite hard, and you have to step back and continuously reset yourself at times to manage that.
Yeah, it teaches you prioritization. It teaches you a balance that you probably didn't have before of making the right choices or making the choices that work for you together as a family.
Makes sense. And when was the first time you felt the tug between family goals and career goals?
For me, it was, a moment we had our son. I was in India at the time and I had a 6-month maternity leave. And it was funny. Ishan was like, "You're never going to go back to work." I'm like, "I'm going to go back to work," like the moment it's 181 day. And sure, 6 months comes along and I'm not going back to work because I chose to want to take that little extra time off to be with him, to enjoy myself with him. And I wanted to take that time off. And I think when it was time to come back after a year, which is what we had originally thought, life sort of took turns, and we moved to the US, and then COVID struck, and a lot of things just kind of happened. And I think plans got a little bit swayed from wanting to go back to work eagerly to not having the opportunity, one, because of the move, visas, jobs, conversations, network, leaving everything behind. And second is just not knowing with COVID and where things are going to be and how will our son be looked after and all of that. So we took a conscious decision, a conscious choice that Ishan would hold fort, which he did beautifully for us as a family. And I would hold fort from a personal perspective and look after our son and manage that part of our life. And that's sort of been the struggle right after having a child, how to make that choice, or I would say be forced into making the choice of whether you want to, look after your family and be at home, or do you want to go back into being the professional that you've pretty much always been your adult life.
And just to add to that, I think I kept on teasing Divya those first 6 months. I said, you're never gonna go back. You're just not gonna go back. And when she made that decision, as a father, I was very excited because our son is getting quality time from his mother in the most important years of his life, right? So as a father, I'm like super elated about it. But as a husband, I'm looking at what Divya is giving up on her career, even if for short time, right? I knew it would not be easy after that, right? So some part of me would, as husband, I would be worried that when she decides to go back, will it be easy or difficult? And then as Divya said, US, COVID and all that, I think we saw firsthand the difficulties that women face in returning to work. It was crazy difficult. It almost feels like odds are stacked against you, changing countries, returning after a mat leave and an extended break, and then there is, of course, a pandemic, but like everything just together, and then some immigration issues, like everything together makes it big. But I think the biggest one in that is it's just not easy for women to return to work after an extended break, right? Like that probably is the core of that challenge that we saw very close and personal.
What have you learned through the years about kind of striking the balance and trying to return to work and overcoming some of those challenges?
I think it's, from a professional point of view, been to find the right people to work with, to find the right teams, to find the right managers, to find the right role. I guess the whole remote part has made it slightly easier. You can do things that you probably wouldn't have been able to do before when you had to go to an in-person role. So that kind of just happened. But it's been difficult to, first of all, make the choice, or like I said, have the choice being made for you. It was either you don't work or you work 8 hours a day, right? There was no choice. That was it. It was 0 to 8. There wasn't, work 2 hours 4 days a week, or work 4 hours 3 days a week, or slowly get back after a break from your professional career. So that was a little hard to overcome suddenly after a couple of years of not having done it, and the world, like the pace of work has changed. It's become very, very fast. So when I went on maternity leave, there was no Slack, and I come back and there's Slack. It's a very small thing, but it's a change of mindset, right? And you kind of miss out on that for a couple of years, and when you come back, it's like it's hard to kind of adjust.
It's almost strange to see a world where, and this is different parts, right? Like India has this whole 6-month maternity leave, which in many ways is very progressive. And we still don't understand the US mat leave structures, but it seems relatively small when I see my colleagues going off on it. But it's almost this unwritten expectation that you're going to come back from mat leave. Oh, we have done our part. We gave you your mat leave, it's done. Now just be at work, right? Like, no, the person who went on mat leave went, alone. And when that person came back, they came back with 1 or 2 or whatever number of kids, right? And I think we just tend to just put that under the rug. And we expect things to be the same as they were earlier. And that's what either the 0 hour or the 8 hour conundrum, right? So it's it's fascinating if I put a business hat on it, that problem exists. And it's sad to see that the problem exists after hundreds of years of working, that it's 0 or 1 and nothing in between.